Mardu Dragons. Berkenbile is on your right. He is up a game, and you have to imagine that this is a good matchup for him.
All right, so this is actually more interesting. So yeah, you're right. Berkenbile is 12-2. This was a double pair down actually in the standings.
Okay.
But without being certain, I believe Berkenbile is in rain or shine. For Clifton, however, he needs both of these games.
Yes. He is down one. He's thought seizing. He sees a Silence the Believers, a Dragon Lord's Prerogative. Looks like 2 Bile Blights and a Dragon Lord Ojutai.
Certainly for Berkenbile, he will be, as you see the clock here, at 17.5 minutes. If this ever were to end up in a draw, that is just fine for Sam. Clifton needs to win.
Yep, and he's got to win 2 games in about 17 minutes, which is not the easiest thing to do against Esper Dragons.
Oh, so yeah, Bile Blights, Ojutai, Dragon Lord's Prerogative, and Silence the Believers. Sam has gone heavy on removal here.
Clifton Beech has made his way through some great players this week and gave Jerry Thompson the loss at the end of day number 1. I believe also beat Logan Mize during this tournament as well. So he's had a nice tournament with his Mardu Dragons deck. He's going to cast a dragon right now. Looks like it's going to be Thunderbreak region.
Yeah, beat Eric Hawkins as well.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Silence the Believers is going to take care of that. That Thunderbreak region will be exiled from the Silence the Believers.
Both players are just going to trade some threats with removal. Remember, though, at the end of the day, it is Sam that has cards like Dragon Lord's Prerogative. So if we get into this matchup of prolonged trading, it's not where Clifton wants to be.
Yeah, we know who that favors.
Now, Clifton actually, if he can get in with this Kolagon, because the kill spells in Sam's hand are Bile Blights, and he only has 3 black sources, not 4.
Well, here comes Kolagon. It's been dashed. It's going to turn back to the grip past that turn back.
I was curious whether we'd see him actually cast it.
It's dig through time.
Very difficult to ever want to cast this. If you think about, for it to be more damage to cast it rather than dashing it, you have to have it in play for 3 turns.
Yeah. Berkenbile going to take a look at some cards here. You see the grip? He's got 4 cards there. He's digging. And truthfully, he might just be digging for 2 lands.
Yeah, he needs at least 1 land. He has some copies of Ojutai in his hand. Yeah, with 2 lands, he can make his way to Dragon Lord's Prerogative.
Yep. That's the kind of card that can just dominate this game.
Yeah, he has some life points to work with. I would not be surprised from just to grab lands.
He's going to take his time here, however. And he's found 2 lands that 2 cards that he's happy with. They could be lands. They may not be, however. And there is 1. It's a Dismal Backwater. Gain of life. Go up to 16. We'll head back Beech's way. Crux of Fate to draw. Let's do the dash thing again. Pass that turn back.
All right, more just Lava Axe with buyback.
A dream come true.
Lava Axe, buyback 0. Good card.
It's a discard spell? Yeah, Thoughtseize.
All right.
I think we're going to stop the Lava Axe with buyback nonsense.
I mean, and this is the issue when you're playing this board control deck like Mardu, is once he Thoughtseizes your Kolagon, you have Utter End, Crackling Doom, Crux of Fate. I mean, yes, those are all excellent cards at 1-for-1 trading here, and then Sam is going to draw 4.
Yes.
Mardu has no card like that just draws 4.
There could be some interest in taking the Crackling Doom because he has Dragon Lord Ojutai in hand, but you can just not cast a Dragon Lord for a little while, take away the Kolagon that's causing the headaches right now, and just move along accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, look at the play there from Sam. He has an Ojutai in 5 mana. Instead, he uses 1 mana to Thoughtseize and burns the other 4 because there's no sense of urgency here.
The longer these games go, the better it is for Berkenbile. I mean, the cards that he can draw just seem to be better than what Beech can draw, and he's 1 land away also from casting Dragon Lord's Prerogative. So take away the annoying threat, pass the turn back. No one says you have to cast Dragon Lord Ojutai when you have 5 mana, and he's not going to. Hello. Hello, Stormbreath.
Well, that is protection from some of the kill spells. Oh, not many. Probably has something that he can do with this. Yeah,
the
2
Blights.
Bile Blights.
He's had in his hand for a little while.
Got a 2-for-1. All right, that's card. That's how Mardu makes its card advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the Modern Challenge.
Berkenbile passed the turn back. Berkenbile did have a copy of Slumgar Scorn in hand, and we know he has a dragon, but he can just wait.
They are next to the Jace banner on yellow.
No rush. There's a land there for Beech.
Yeah, it looks like he may have Dragon Lord Kolagon in hand as well. Yep, a 1-of out of his sideboard.
And that one's not going to resolve.
Probably not.
Let's take a look at the graveyard and the exile zone. See what's over there. Is it correct to cast this right now?
I mean, the issue here is because he doesn't have great draws. Clifton is just going to basically try to attempt to cast his threats as he draws them because there's no value he gains in hanging on to any of them. Whereas you see Sam is in the situation because he has counter spells, he has card advantage. You know, he has Ojutais he could be casting, and he's just not going to.
Yeah, there's Slumgar scoring. Not even going to reveal. Now a dig through time.
Yep, so the cards like Dig Through Time and Dragonlord's Prerogative are just so good for Esper Dragons in this matchup.
Sam, of course, will take a look at 7 cards. He gets to take 2 with him. He's got 3 cards in hand right now. One of them, Dragonlord's Prerogative. I believe the other 2 are Dragonlord Ojutai. So he's found 2 cards that he is happy with. Put the other 5 on the bottom. Go back to his turn as he untaps 5 lands, takes a draw step. There is land number 6. It's an Urborg. And now here is Dragonlord Ojutai. Basically saying now, okay, feel free to kill this one. I don't particularly care. That'll probably be your entire turn. And if you don't kill it, I'm cool with that too. There's Crackling, dude. And I mean, he plays that Dragonlord Ojutai knowing that's going to happen. So he knows he's going to lose his creature and go down to 6. It just seems like to me, he's like, I want to get past this stage of the game.
Well, what he did is he forced Clifton to use main phase mana instead of end step mana on it, which means he took his shields down, but it's not like Clifton got to untap and resolve a 6-drop. He could resolve a 3-drop if he had it. That's way less threatening.
Clifton going to go reaching for some mana here. I believe it's an Outpost Siege, and it is. See if this resolves.
If it sticks, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think it might.
We've got to select a mode on that. When we know, we'll let you know. Here's Soulfire Grandmaster. I imagine he'll be selecting cons, and he is.
Yep. That's his card advantage. And what I like about Clifton is because of how he paces those early threats, he gets the universal removal, like the Silumgar Scorn, out of Sam's hand. And by the time, the only kind of removal those left for Sam was Foul Tongue Invocation, and that doesn't take care of Outpost Siege. The card advantage generated by Outpost Siege is significant enough that we're going to see Sam switch game plans.
There's Foul Tongue Invocation to take care of the Soulfire Grandmaster.
Now does Sam turn the corner and start making more Ojutais? If he doesn't, he's going to get card advantaged out.
Well, he'll play an Ojutai, pass that turn back.
What can Clifton get? Foul Tongue Invocation.
An answer.
Yep.
Now, he already had an answer in his hand, to be fair, in Crux of Fate. It's just an expensive one there in Crux.
Draws Haven. Great setup for Clifton. He can do both Foul Tongue and Haven if he wants to.
There is Haven.
Though he could Haven back a dragon to gain 4 off the Foul Tongue, I don't know if he wants to do that because then he could get his Dragon Thought Seized. And I don't know if Clifton cares about 4 life points.
It would be annoying to have that happen. But he's going to risk it.
I mean, he does get, this is 4 life points.
Yeah.
There is upside.
Which dragon is he going to turn? That's the question. You've got choice between Stormbreath, Dragonlord Kolaghan. Looks like he's going to take the big one.
Well, the Dragonlord Kolaghan, actually, if it makes it into play, Sam can't cast another Ojutai because he takes 10.
There's Foul Tongue Invocation, reveal the Dragonlord. See you later.
Yeah, that passive ability of Kolaghan doesn't show up too much, but Sam actually does have another Ojutai in his graveyard. So if you read that clause there, opponent casts another creature planeswalker with the same name, Sam's at 10, so he can't.
Yeah, loses 10 life. There's Ojutai.
All right, well, Sam's going to get it out before the Dragonlord's down.
Yep.
Trigger.
Thunderbreak Regent's a good Magic card.
Yeah.
Temple of Triumph's not a bad one either.
Strong draws. That Outpost Siege doing work for Clifton. So now Sam has to Clifton has to contemplate whether or not he wants to start making threats of his own or can try to answer Sam's. He has Crux of Fate. He could name dragons off it. That costs him the Thunder opportunity for Thunderbreak Regent if he wants to make that play. He also has Utter End and Dragonlord Kolaghan in his hand. So a lot of options, but actually as they're all 4 mana or more, he only gets to pick 1.
I think I would want to Crux if I'm in Clifton's spot.
Yeah.
And I would want to do it quickly given the time.
Yeah, well, it costs him 2 cards to do it because he won't get another shot at that Thunder Break. That said, I'm inclined to agree. Maybe if he's this low on time, actually the play is Dragonlord Kolagon.
He is going to cast Crux.
Yeah, I believe he's paying a little too much for that, but
Yeah.
that's just fine. Name's Dragons.
Thunderbreak Regents will be exiled, pass the turn back.
3 Ojutais in the graveyard. That is something that Mardu Dragons is very good at, is killing Ojutai is not that big of a problem for the deck.
No, not at all. Elspeth.
This Outpost Siege.
I mean, the problem here is he just can't double spell. There's thoughts he's to clear the path. That's not bad.
I mean, this is a game that it does look like Clifton is pulling ahead in. Outpost Siege is just being great for him.
Yeah.
That said, he's got to win another one.
There goes Dragonlord Slumguard. So now 2 copies of Foul Tongue Invocation in hand.
Great time for Elspeth.
Yeah.
But Clifton needs to win quickly.
There is Elspeth.
Don't anticipate for Clifton that a draw will be any good. In fact, a draw is almost certainly not good. For Sam, a draw will lock him for top 8.
There's a trigger. Here's this. Hero's Downfall took care of Elspeth. That was a very quick turn that Berkenbile took. That was his draw for the turn. He's left with 2 copies of Foul Tongue Invocation.
Yeah, so a great draw in that he had an answer to Elspeth, but the damage is done. So Clifton was sitting on a lot of some expensive dragons in his hand. They figured to do really, these Foul Tongues would be great answers to them, but now that Elspeth has made 3 tokens, cards like Dragonlord Kolagon should have free reign on the board. So that's going to be it. Here's going to come the 6/5.
It's hasty and it's angry.
It's got soldier friends.
There's your attack.
Sam's going to have to, I believe he's going to have to Foul Tongue.
And Foul Tongue does basically next to nothing here.
Well, he needs to Foul Tongue so that if next turn he draws Hero's Downfall, he can downfall Foul Tongue and go stay at 1.
Sure.
Because if he doesn't do it this turn, then even drawing a kill spell next turn and playing kill spell Foul Tongue, he'll still be too low. He'll be at 1 and still die.
Well, then I agree with you. I think he should Foul Tongue. But he will not Foul Tongue, it seems.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Berkenbile's at 1.
He could draw a dragon. That would work too.
And
then
then
he
gain
gains
8.
8. Yeah.
ready. Once again, Commander Pod number
Temple
9.
won't work in any scenario.
No, it will not. He's going to
There
concede
they
this
go.
game.
So on to game 3 for Clifton, Beech, and Sam Berkenbile, but this Clifton's going to need to win a lightning fast game of Magic.
Yes, to say the least. And I don't know if that's even capable of happening here because players are going to shuffle up and get ready for game number 3. If you take a look at the clock, we're going to have 5 minutes in just a moment. And if players take some time to re-sideboard, I would imagine this game's going to have maybe 3 minutes to play.
Even if Sam were to lose this game, I still believe that Sam will make the top 8.
Yeah, no, Sam should be fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. There are situations where you have a player at 12-2 with very low tiebreakers. Oftentimes, actually, the person who gets paired down does have low tiebreakers. But in this situation, that's not the case.
Well, we're going to see how things do go here, but we will very quickly, while we wait, we'll talk about, I don't know, the payout for this tournament since these players are playing for top 8 and what's on the line. Of course, first place for one of these bad boys is $5,000, 25 Open Series points, and invite to our Season 2 Invitationals. One of the last chances to actually qualify for the tournament. So you see second place at $2,000, 20 Open Series points, and invite to an Invitational. So a lot on the line here as they make it through the last round of this tournament.
Yeah, for players like Logan Mize, that 9th through 16th place comes with $325, but for the race to get into the top 16, it is 8 open points for him, which is pretty significant, more than most players will be getting from IQs this weekend, so he should be able to move up in the standings from this finish.
Yeah, Logan will be able to move the standings a little bit, but he's got a lot to climb. We can take a look at the Season 2 leaderboard here. You'll see how close the race has been all weekend. It's been the main story of the weekend. However, Joe Lissette, Danny Jessup, the players who did travel out here, they were unable to really either pick up ground in Jessup's case or really expand the lead for Joe and overtake Kevin Jones. Now, Jones, Merriam, and Fabiano, they're playing a Super IQ this weekend in Connecticut. It's modern. They're probably battling right now, actually. And first place of that is 6 Open Series points. For Lissette and Jessup, they're playing in Premier IQ. The winner of that gets 10 Open Series points. So we could have the standings remain pretty similar with Jones in the lead heading into Worcester next weekend, or we could have a little bit of shakeup if Joe's able to win or if Ross is able to win.
Yeah, I mean, Joe got the 1 point from the Open. So did Danny Jessup, but Danny, especially in his edition, needs more than that.
Yeah, and talking with Danny last night, he said really the last time he's had a really good finish was when he was here. He had a really good finish the last time we were here. He got 4th place, lost to Jim Davis in the semifinals, and then at our season 1 invitational, the kickoff to season 2, that Standard Open that Joe won with Just Guy Rogue, Danny made the top 4 there, and he said, really, I've been trying. I've been having difficulty winning a match since. Standard did not go well for him this weekend playing Abzan aggro, and he's not terribly confident in his Modern deck either. He's playing Infect in Modern. He is not thrilled about that deck choice, but it's all he's got with him.
Sam Berkenbile, Clifton Beech about to start game 3. Clifton has had a bunch of close calls on the tournament. We saw the amazing win over Jerry in round 9 yesterday. Took wins over Eric Hawkins and Logan Mize as well.
It's been a good tournament.
He has beaten some real good players.
Yeah. He's got to beat one more really good one. He's got about 2 minutes to do it. And he does not have time to think about a mulligan. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, he will mulligan.
I mean, on top of that, this is a matchup that can be difficult for him. He's on the draw. It's no. First of all, not only does he have to win it, which is difficult, but he has to win it real quick.
And, Magic, especially competitive tournament Magic like this, is really interesting because sometimes it's about playing the games to the best of your ability, and sometimes it's okay. I got it moving, and I have to sacrifice play to be able to finish in time. And I think that's what Clifton needs to do here. And maybe he's just not used to doing that in situations like this. You saw him turn around, look at the clock, and I mean, we can look at it too. There's about a minute and 33 seconds left.
He knows. So perhaps if he boarded them out, what he needs to do is board back in all his Goblin Rabble Masters.
Yeah. Get low to the ground.
You want to talk about a card that can win the game by itself in about 5 turns? Goblin Rabble Master is just about at the top of the list. Yep. Now, granted, does it die to 1 downfall or 1 Bioblight? Sure does. But maybe Sam doesn't have it.
Got to make him have it.
Maybe you can thought seize him twice and play a Rabble Master and win.
There's a Temple. Trigger. Top card, bottom card. Berkenbile's way. Berkenbile 21 from a dismal backwater. A flooded strand and a passing of the turn. Beech will draw. There's another Temple.
Yep. Crux of Fate draw there for Clifton. Not going to have time for that.
Berkenbile going to sacrifice his fetch line. He'll go down to 20. Wants to thin out the deck a little bit. Islander or Plains coming. Most likely an island, of course. There is an island. Berkenbile will draw. It's his 3rd turn of the game. He'll play an island, pass that turn back.
And Berkenbile just really needs to parry against Clifton for these first few turns. Some counter spells, some removal spells, that should be good enough.
Yep. Let's say Meyer, and time is called in the match. Swamper Mountain coming. This is turn number 0. Berkenbile is 1, 3, and 5. Beech is 0, 2, and 4.
And there's not a way to deal this much damage in 3 turns.
Can't be done. They'll play out the last couple of turns of the game, but it cannot be done. So it's unfortunate for Clifton because you want to see how this matchup would play out. I think we haven't really got to see this matchup. We talked about this a little bit earlier too. We just never really get to see Mardu Dragons versus Esper Dragons.
Yeah, it's a matchup I'm looking forward to seeing in some of the coming weeks as well.
There's a Read the Bones. That's going to get negated very fast. Go to turn 1 here for Berkenbile. He'll draw, play a Temple of Triumph, take a look at the top card. Leave that card on top, pass the turn back. The interesting thing for Berkenbile in this situation is, he's going to pick up a draw. He'll move to 12, 2, and 1, and that's going to put him in the top 8. But, him winning this match may have made him the #1 overall seed. Mm-hmm. And being able to play with Esper Dragons, or really any deck in Standard, is pretty crucial, especially in elimination rounds. So that'd be part of the reason that a draw is poor for him here.
Thunderbreak Regent got hit by Foul Tongue Invocation, revealing Ojutai from Sam.
Yep. That was turn 2 of extra turns. Well, it looks like it is going to be a draw here at the very least. So we're going to bring it back to the booth, and we do have a final result for you guys. We will let you know, as there might be a discussion there about Clifton saying, you know, I'm in if you concede, or chances are I'm in. And Sam, you are in if you're in regardless of the result, but it's a draw.
Yeah, match slip signed. Players have drawn. I mean, I think the situation is both players said there is no way this is finishing. At that situation, Clifton asks, hey, you want to concede? Sam says no. Game is a draw.
Yep, game is a draw. So there you go. Sam Berkenbile will be in the top 8. Clifton Beech will not. 2 of the other players in the top 8. We'll announce that, of course, when we do come back from a bit of an extended break.